Sip Up Nation, Air Candy Mornings. I'm Renata Romero. We have Lupe Fiasco finally in here for breakfast. Good morning.
What up? How's things? Tetsuo on youth in stores right now.
You look like a rock star this morning. I always like to see your different fashion sense.
I actually wore this coat in the fashion show. Shout out to my friend's song for the music.
Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Yes. My man said it's Persian lamb.
Ooh, like nice.
I wore it in a fashion show. Like I was.
You were in a fashion show?
Yeah, in Australia.
Wow.
And so it's my friend's clothing line. And they gave me the coat.
Yeah. It looks good. See, that's the thing. You know, I feel like we don't know a whole lot about Lupe Fiasco, the man. You know,
and that's a good thing.
Like things. Why?
Because why you got my music. That's like enough.
But I don't think people get a chance to experience the full Lupe Fiasco through the music.
Why? They don't need to. I think that's a little.
You don't want them to?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think people need to know that much. Okay. It's 5 albums, 7 mixtapes.
Yeah.
Hundreds of songs.
Right.
You know, I think you can build a good picture of kind of who I am. The music is all real, so it's like, you know.
Yeah.
There is some creative licenses taken in certain things. I've never been in a giant robot before, you know, but you know, it still relates to something.
Well, it's just nice to hear you say I was in this fashion show in Australia. You know,
it made the papers. It was front page in Australia.
In Australia, not here.
Yeah,
not here.
You know, here sometimes don't really matter, you know.
That is true. There's a whole world and a whole life outside of the United States of America.
Yeah, it kinda is, you know.
You know, we have some artists that live overseas for years, touring. Like, you know, they come in and I say, I haven't seen you in a minute. Where have you been? I've been overseas, making that overseas money.
Mos Def is in South Africa right now. He tried to get me to go. He's like, yo, just come with, let's go.
But I heard he can't come back though.
Why would you want to come back?
Ooh.
South Africa's beautiful.
Yeah, I would like to go one day. So I was getting into the album. It's definitely not a one-time listen, that's for sure. Congratulations on the release.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tetsuo on youth in stores right now.
Tetsuo. That's Japanese.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Is that a Japanese film? Explain the title, because a lot of people.
It is a Japanese film. There's a film called Tetsuo. It's like three parts. It's like a cyberpunk film. Really, really weird. Like, I can barely watch it. Like, it's so crazy. It's all like metal music and weird. It's about this guy who can turn himself. He's like an experiment, and he can like turn his hand into like guns and
nice.
It's really crazy.
Nice.
It's really crazy.
Like fantasy.
Really fantasy. Yeah. And I want to say that character was the inspiration. There's also a Tetsuo in this Japanese cartoon called Akira, which is very famous. And so there's like these 2 Tetsuo characters in Japanese culture. Oh, I'm keeping this mic. Sorry.
You can have it.
These 2 characters in Japanese, you know, underground, whatever you want to call it, film and cartoons.
Right.
Yeah. And so the reference comes from
that. Yeah.
A little bit.
So the end youth part, like how did you put it all together, and like what's the meaning for the album?
I wanted to do an album. I always need a good title to work from. Sometimes they're working titles, which is something that I'll just name something for myself to work through, and that don't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be called.
Right.
You know, kind of how like Coca-Cola is called like X7 in the factory or something like that. But for us, it's Coca-Cola.
Right.
But you know, so youth was like, I want to do youth, but then Modest Yahoo had an album called Youth, and I was like, but I still like youth and something. And then it was gonna be like something about youth sound like lightning or something like that. It was gonna be like this real extended working title or whatever.
Right.
And then I was just like, no, I'm gonna just do youth. But then Tetsuo came up, and I was like, I like Tetsuo too. That sounds good. And then I just put them together.
Right.
So like conceptually, youth probably Tetsuo has a meaning to the album. I don't really want to explain it though, because it's it takes too long.
Okay.
But the youth part.
Well, you can give us the short version.
There's no short version.
Okay.
Youth is short though.
Right.
So it's Tetsuo and youth. So youth is, I wanted to make like an album that expressed like moments of childhoodness. You know,
right.
So if you listen to the album, it starts with this interlude called Summer, and it's like this piano, this violin kind of string thing playing, and you hear kids playing in the background, like in the water and stuff like that. And then there's another interlude, so you get 3 songs, and then there's another interlude called Fall, which is a little bit more jazzy, still violins.
Love that.
But it's like kids playing in the fall. So you hear like leaves raking and kind of kids jumping around.
Yeah.
And there's another interlude called Winter.
Right.
It's like a storm, like a blizzard. And you don't hear any kids because they can't be outside. So all the kids are in the house.
Let's play some music and come back, because what I immediately picked up that on the album is the instrumentation. You know, I almost feel as if this time around your focus was that. Your focus was you use the different instruments to create the different imagery, you know, to create whatever you are trying to create.
Yeah.
This time around, then focusing on the actual lyrics. The lyrics are important as well, but I kind of feel like you flipped it in a different way this time. It's definitely a good listen. Tetsuo and Youth, that's for sure. Lupe is here. We're getting into the mind of Lupe Fiasco today. It's Breakfast Talk on Ear Candy Mornings.
You're now checking out Ear Candy Mornings.
Ear Candy in the morning.
Hip Hop Nation, I'm Renata Man, your Ear Candy. We're back. Lupe Fiasco is here for breakfast. Pick up a copy of his new album, Tetsuo and Youth. Now, I know you're not the type of artist that follow sales and album sales. I don't even know why these different blogs and different media places report that stuff. Do you follow the numbers?
Yeah, I have to. I can't get away from it.
Really? I'm shocked.
Yeah. I don't follow it like actively, like I live my life based on that.
I know that, but it means something to you.
No, not really.
Okay.
Not this time around.
I didn't think so.
No. I've had an interesting relationship with record sales through my whole career.
Right.
So it's something that I learned was just like, I might never go platinum. So I have gone platinum though. Like I have sold millions of records, but it's still like not as meaningful as it, because I know what that means.
I almost feel as if you're disappointed in maybe the business or the industry.
Who?
Meaning,
why you feel I would be disappointed?
Because you're an artist that you're an artistic artist. You know, you have.
That's crazy though.
Why?
Artistic artist? It's like so redundant.
It is, but it isn't.
No, I mean to have to say that is weird. For that to even.
But do you understand what I'm?
No, I get it. I understand it fully.
Because every artist is not artistic.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Every artist should be artistic. You know.
Should be.
For that kind of oxymoron to even exist. Oxymoron means that there's two words that cancel each other out.
Yeah, we have a sophisticated listenership.
I'm just making sure. I don't want people to be like, yo, he's oxymoron trying to be all smart. Oh, smart. You ain't smart.
We have a sophisticated listenership in the mornings.
I don't know, for things like that to even need to be,
said
made, it's weird. It's like artistic artists. Like you're an artistic artist as compared to non-artistic artists, which is like, if you're a non-artistic artist, then you're not an artist. Like that makes no sense. I just brought that up. That just was mind-boggling to me.
Right.
But my disappointment with the record business. I'm not necessarily disappointed with the record business. I was very disappointed with Atlantic Records. The executive level was very disappointing, especially coming out of two prior record companies.
Right. And
seeing the way, senior management and executives actually relate to the artists. They're supposed to lead the company, not lead the individual artist. Like, that's weird.
Right. Let me qualify the question, because I didn't really mean the label stuff. We don't care about that.
But they out of business though. They're heavy. They may be the elephant in the room.
Right.
Nobody wants to address.
Right.
But that is the core of the record business, is the record company.
It's Breakfast Talk on Ear Candy Mornings.
It's Ear Candy.
Ear Candy Mornings with Renata Romaine.
Hey there, is this Renata?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Hip Hop Nation.
It's Hip Hop Nation. I'm Renata Romaine, your Ear Candy. We're back. Lupe Fiasco is here for breakfast. I asked a question on the show a couple of months ago about who controls the industry. Is it the executives in the label, or is it the people? So I want to qualify the question by asking, are you disappointed that, or do you feel as if the people don't really rally around you and artists like yourself the way that you would like for them to? Because album sales, isn't that a reflection of that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm being led to be.
What'd you say?
Self-pitying. I'm not self-pitying, and I don't really get into what I feel other people should be doing for me. I don't get into that, because people have their reasons. I have a core group of people that are my creative, go-tos, and anything beyond that doesn't really matter. You know? Like, I've been in this business for 15 years.
Right.
On record companies, not just underground rapper. Before that, I was an underground rapper since I was 14.
Wow.
So I've understood what you should allow yourself to be affected by and what you don't. A lot of the stuff I don't, but I don't really get into that, you know. And I feel like that's something people project onto artists, that they should have that, because they project that because that's what they want,
right?
You know, they live their lives based on the you know, the qualifications of others, right, which I never really did, and that doesn't fit in this business. So that's part of kind of the reason why I'm a little left of center or the black sheep in certain capacities, because I don't fit with that. You know, I'm not a status quo dude. I'm not like that in regular life.
Right.
I don't eat McDonald's. You know, it's like one of them dudes like, oh, but you should eat McDonald's because it's everywhere. You know,
right,
like,
right.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah.
And for some people that's a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't fit into their mold. But even with that said, the people that don't eat McDonald's either, I don't necessarily need to go to Burger King with them. You know, like they don't have to come with me. You know, it's not like we have this crew now because we all don't eat McDonald's and everybody's gonna support each other. Got it. Because I don't shop at Kmart either. You know,
you're just such an individual.
I hesitantly I would say that. No one's really an individual though. Okay. You know, if you really want to be real, everybody still wears the same clothes as everybody else and wants the same things as everybody else. That's not really being an individual. You know.
What do you want, Lupe Fiasco?
I want to go away. I want silence. You know what I'm saying?
You want silence?
I want to go back to Australia and
the outback,
make the front page, and nobody knows about it here, and nobody cares about it over there. You know, and you just kind of like chilling, and you get to walk down the street and not worry about it.
You really okay with that though?
I've been like that.
Okay.
I think it's part of that. Like you said, people don't know too much about Lupe Fiasco, and that's great and that's good. And the only time I have to explain myself is when I get in front of cameras or microphones and people want to know, like, hey, Lupe, you want to... I said it in Superstar. You know, if you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear.
Yeah.
The camera's here and the microphones, and they want to know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, what do they want to know?
Right.
Oh, they want to know about you. It's like, well, this is me. It's like, well, we don't get that. There has to be something else. It's like, nah.
This is what it is. What you see and what you hear is what you get. It's Lupe Fiasco. Ear Candy Mornings.
Dedicate.
Non-stop good music.
You chillin' with my baby girl, Renata Romaine.
Ear Candy Morning Show on Hip Hop Nation, boy.
Hip-Hop Nation, I'm Renata Romaine, back with Lupe Fiasco. Tetsuo and Youth is currently out in stores. Mm-hmm. What informs you? I know you travel a lot. You've been to China. You've been all over the world. Australia, you mentioned, and I know that all of those experiences informs you as an artist and what actually makes the album. You don't seem like the type of guy that sits in front of the TV and watch television all day. You know, you're into books and you do a lot of reading. So what informs Lupe?
You just said it. You know, I travel a lot.
Specifically.
You just said it.
But like specifically, what are you reading? You know, specifically.
I don't get it.
What are you watching?
I respect my rules of privacy as far as what I read and what I watch. And sometimes where I go.
Really? You're very, very private.
Yeah, why not? But no, I kind of study a lot of philosophy. You know, I more so than reading books or watching TV, which I do.
What do you watch? Oh, you don't reveal that.
Play video games. You know, I do regular stuff that other people do.
Right.
But I also surround myself with very powerful individuals and very, very well connected, very smart people.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mentors.
Yeah.
And associates who are very, very astute at certain things. And it's literally just to put yourself in a capacity where you have other people who challenge you to think, who are critical thinkers and theorists about things, and you know, not only in word and thought but also in action.
Yeah.
You know, so that in itself will want you to the things when you go back to the studio or you go back to write something down or create something. You know, that we have this saying where they say, you know, imagine before you do anything, imagine that you're looking in the mirror and we're all standing behind you. You know, and so it becomes like, oh man, I gotta impress such and such. So I gotta, I remember that conversation I had with him, so I'm gonna, you know, do something informed from that piece of thing or whatever. But yeah, you know.
I want to talk about some of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
we're playing Deliver. Deliver is becoming one of the most popular songs on Hip Hop Nation.
Nice.
The Pizza
Thank you.
Man don't come here no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very stripped down, but poignant lyric.
It's also the piece of man.
Ah, we hear it as pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza Man.
Yeah. But it's also pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza of man. Don't come in no more.
Got it.
Both.
Got it. Yeah.
Not simple as it.
Yeah. But that's Lupe Fiasco, though, you know?
But continue. I'm sorry.
You talk about economic disparity on the record, mural. On mural, that's a familiar sample. What did you sample on mural?
The producers who made it sampled it. But I think it's called, shout out to the Buchanans who produced it. Actually based in New York. It's called Cortex.
I know that
The band's
sample.
called Cortex. It's been sampled like 15 times.
Okay, maybe that's
Rick
why.
Ross, Jeezy just sampled it. Logic sampled it. Currency sampled it. Wiz Khalifa sampled it. Everybody's kind of sampled in some portion of part.
Right.
It's just such a amazing I guess producers love it.
Yeah.
You know? And when I say Wiz Khalifa, Rick Ross, whoever, I mean the producers who actually made the beat sampled it. But it's amazing. I listened to just the original record.
Right.
You know, which is so dope. But
yeah. What was your approach this time around for the album?
I don't know. This album was very weird to make. It was never meant to come out.
Yeah, because it seemed like it kind of dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah, but it was never meant to come out. The label wasn't gonna put it out.
Yeah.
It's interesting because when we didn't even really start on it. Like we never really how we kind of started on the cool, or we started on like Food and Liquor, with meaning like we actually came in was like, well, we didn't really start on Food and Liquor either. So started on like the cool, where it's like start from scratch.
Right.
Nothing, come up with a concept.
Right.
You know, and start to just build records from zero. With this one, we kind of got forced in it. You know, we were still promoting Food and Liquor 2 and got a call from Craig Cowman and was like, yo, you got 7 records, you got to do them.
Really?
It was kind of like, I'm not even
You're not even moved.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you know.
Right.
And then it was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like, we're not doing Lasers again.
Right.
But it was just like a funky piece. And then so I'm already in it and now I got to start, you know, but I got to build off of. So the records changed like 5 times, you know, where it was like, and when we finally ended up with 2 albums, one was like really, really big and pop.
Yeah.
And the other one was What You Have in Your Hand.
Right.
It was like stuff that we feel.
Yeah.
And we went with like the feeling.
I like that.
You know?
You hit the nail on the head. It's definitely a feeling album. It'll make you feel before it'll make you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ear Candy Mornings, Lupe Fiasco, Tetsuo, and Youth. Pick it up right now. It's Hip Hop Nation.
You're checking out Ear Candy.
Ear Candy.
With Renata Romaine.
On Hip Hop Nation.
We're back. I'm Renata Romaine, your Ear Candy. Sitting down with Lupe Fiasco, finally, after all of these years of talking about him and reporting about him. He's in these studios.
That's good. These are my last interviews.
Really? Why?
A couple more, I think. I'm done.
When you say you're done, what do you mean?
I'm done with my record label. My contract is over. I'm still going to do albums and do music, but I feel like I was never fit to be in this public capacity because I don't really like it. So it's like, these are like, we literally picked like, okay, Lupe, you got to do some interviews. You got to promote the album. So we literally like handpicked the people we were going to do interviews for.
Well, I'm glad you handpicked me.
And turned down a lot of people. A lot of people are kind of mad that we didn't do it.
Right.
But yeah, it's like the last one.
Is that why you chose seasons, metaphorically? Summer, fall, winter, you know, the different change of the seasons. What season are you in? Are you saying that you're in that last?
No, because seasons repeat themselves.
Right.
You know, so they constantly happen again. There's always going to be a summer or maybe not.
What season are you in right now?
I'm not really in a season.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not in a season. Why would I be in a season?
How can you be out of a season?
What do you mean? How can you be in a season?
Aren't we all?
True. No, I don't think so. We're not seasons. You know, we're not planets. You know?
Good Lord.
That's not us. I say that but for the seasons for the album, it was like a function for the album to break the album up into different sections.
Yeah.
And then different feels.
Yeah.
So this feels like winter. This feels like fall.
Yeah.
But you know, me personally, I'm chilling. I haven't changed in the past like 4 years.
Yeah. Before you go, I want to ask you about Islam.
Oh no.
No, fair question.
No.
Fair question.
You can ask.
Yeah, I'll ask. And if you can ponder whether you want to answer it or not. Islam is a religion of peace. Why do you think that it's so demonized? And why do you, I don't really hear a lot of people kind of sort of speaking up for the religion. Because I think people have the wrong perspective about it due to terrorism. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
it's unfair for the religion as a whole. What are your thoughts on that? If you want to speak on it,
I don't have any.
Okay.
I think you expressed it eloquently from your position.
Oh, come on, Lupe. But you're a proud Muslim. I think it's a fair question to ask.
That's an oxymoron too. Proud Muslim.
Well, how was that oxymoronic?
It kind of is because we'll talk about it off air.
Okay. Lord have mercy. Tetsuo and Youth.
In stores right now.
Yes.
Featuring my girl PJ. Featuring Nikki Jean.
Trade the Truth.
Ab Soul.
Yes.
Young Buck. Trouble, Glasses Malone. And many others. My bro family. Virginia Beach, what up? Featuring production by DJ Dahi. The Buchanans, who we discussed earlier, the Mural, S1,
yeah,
and Von Beats, who's his son.
It's really a great body of work. I must say, it's not a one-time listen at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I love the instrumentation on it. Hearing the instruments, the banjo on what's
shout out to the Zach brothers who played the banjo.
Oh man, I love that.
And the mandolin. There's a mandolin in the track too.
Nice.
And a banjolin. I think
yeah.
But anyway,
listen, I know that you're funny with media and press, but I would love for you to come back on Breakfast Talk and we can get into some things. I don't believe that. It's Lupe, Fiasco, Tetsuo, and Youth. We have more to discuss behind the scenes since you did not want to talk on air.
Sure.
It's Hip Hop Nation, Sirius XM 44. Yeah.
There is some creative licenses taken in certain things. I've never been in a giant robot before, but
right.
It still relates to something.
Well, it's just nice to hear you say I was in this fashion show in Australia.
It made the papers. It was front page in Australia.
In Australia, not here.
Yeah,
not here.
Here sometimes don't really matter.
That is true. There's a whole world and a whole life outside of the United States of America.
It kind of is,
we have some artists that live overseas for years, touring. They come in and I say, I haven't seen you in a minute. Where have you been?
It's like three parts. It's like a cyberpunk film. Really, really weird. Like I can barely watch it. Like it's so crazy. It's all like metal music and
right.
Weird. It's about this guy who can turn himself. He's like an experiment, and he can like turn his hand into like guns and.
Oh, nice.
Really crazy.
Nice.
It's really crazy.
Like fantasy.
Really fantasy. Yeah. And I want to say that character was the inspiration. There's also a Tetsuo in this Japanese cartoon called Akira, which is very famous.
I've been overseas making that overseas money.
Mos Def is in South Africa right now. He tried to get me to go. He's like, yo, just come with, let's go.
But I heard he can't come back though.
Why would you want to come back?
Ooh.
South Africa's beautiful.
Yeah, I would like to go one day. So I was getting into the album. It's definitely not a one-time listen, that's for sure. Congratulations on the release.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tetsuo on Youth in stores right now.
Tetsuo. That's Japanese.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Is that a Japanese film? Explain the title, because a lot of people...
It is a Japanese film. There's a film called Tetsuo.
Hip Hop Nation, Ear Candy Mornings. I'm Renata Roman. We have Lupe Fiasco finally in here for breakfast. Good morning.
What up? How's things? Tetsuo on Youth in stores right now.
You look like a rock star this morning. I always like to see your different fashion sense.
Actually, what is called in the fashion show. Shout out to my friend's song for the music.
Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Yes. My man said it's Persian lamb.
Ooh, nice.
I wore it in a fashion show. Like I was.
You were in a fashion show?
Yeah, in Australia.
Wow.
And so it's my friend's clothing line, and they gave me the coat.
Yeah. It looks good. See, that's the thing. I feel like we don't know a whole lot about Lupe Fiasco, the man.
And that's a good thing.
Like things. Why?
Because why we want you got my music. That's like enough.
But I don't think people get a chance to experience the full Lupe Fiasco through the music. like
why? They don't need to. I think that's a little.
You don't want them to?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think people need to know that much. It's 5 albums, 7 mixtapes.
Yeah.
Hundreds of songs.
Right.
I think you can build a good picture of kind of who I am. The music is all real, so it's like